Hello and welcome again on ClubSpotter. And today I have the chance to talk with Oliver. Oliver is the founder of Stuctsales, but he's also doing tons of things. And Oliver, I'll let you present yourself and tell a bit more about what you're doing because you're doing too many things.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's I've been watching and listening to a bunch of the other episodes, so really interesting stuff you're doing. So very happy to be here. Well, where should I start? Yes, I do own the agency. I actually call it a consultancy. Let's start there. Most of the other HubSpot partners out there are more agencies. We do a lot of sales and business development and sales training connected to HubSpot, but also definitely work with the tool. So how did it all begin? Well, basically, it started when my career in sales, which is basically where I'm coming from, began when I was 19 years old. I left school and then I went to. I'm half Spanish, so my dad he's from Spain, obviously, and he knows some people down there. So I went for a summer to work at restaurants and stuff in Menorca, not Mallorca, but Menorca, which is a smaller island pretty close by. And I kind of understood that I love to talk to people and interact with people and serve people. So that's basically where my selling started. Then when I came back, I started to doing sales on the phone, like prospecting and selling stuff over the phone. And from there, basically, somewhere in 20... So we onboarded as a HubSpot partner in 2014. So this is now 2025. So we're into the 11th year as a partner, which is super exciting. And we've seen so many things during these years. And the way I ended up as a HubSpot partner was basically when things started to change. I started to understand that like just pushing and selling and being this traditional salesperson wasn't really working anymore. So I found out everything about like inbound marketing. I found HubSpot and I understood that this is probably the new way to do things, like communicate with people online and meet them where they are, and helping them to make decisions and everything about the inbound journey. Funny thing though, I actually signed up for Acton as a partner. I've heard from other agency owners as well. A few of them actually signed up with Acton as well. I don't know even know if they exist anymore, but I was onboarded, and we're going to talk a bit about this today. I was onboarded by an Indian woman who barely spoke English and asked me if I knew if I could code. And I'm a sales/marketing person, and I was like, I can't code. I want to have a tool where I can help my clients to work with marketing, sales in an easy, efficient way. So that onboarding, after that, I left like after 3 months, and then I went for HubSpot. And I've been with HubSpot since then, and it's been a blast. It's been a really fun thing, like a fun episode these last 11 years. You also asked me what I do more than run this company. Well, yes, I do a lot of public speaking. I actually published a book, and this was first version of it. It's called Sell Value or Die. It's only in Swedish now, but I'm doing a translation. So it's pretty straightforward, and that's the way I communicate, and that's the way I think that we communicate as a company as well. So basically, I do public speaking, workshops, consulting, training for a lot of sales teams and large sales organizations, which is also something I think is very valuable for our clients, because when we work with clients, we always start with the business and the revenue and the churn numbers and the growth plans, because many agencies, not every agency, but many agencies are traditionally either web agencies or marketing people. I love marketing. Like, I would probably define myself as a marketing person today, at least as much as selling. But if you're not focusing on business and growing your business, you're not going to get the C-level people on your side. So this is something we've been doing very successfully. So yes, I do speaking. I obviously write books. Took me 7 years to get the book out, and now I have a new version of it, which has a few other additional chapters in it. I run
Definitely.
podcasts. Yeah, I've been running a podcast with one of my best friends from Gothenburg, where I moved up to Stockholm from many years ago. We actually did the final episode in December, which we call The Last Dance. We ran the podcast for 10 years. It's Alphov and Lopez. And it covered leadership, sales, marketing, a lot of fun stuff. I'm launching a new one now in April, and it's going to be focusing on primarily Nordic companies and how they grow their business. So it's going to be super exciting. So that's on my plate now. What else? I basically, I think that I'm half Spanish. I was born in. I don't know how deep you want to go. I was born in Germany. I have a Spanish dad, a Swedish mother. When I was 3 months old, we moved to Sweden, and I've been living in Sweden since. Been working a lot in Latin America. Before I started my company, I was selling. I was a sales rep, traveling basically in the U.S. and Latin America, and also all over Europe, selling technical stuff and technical solutions. And that's also one of the reasons why I love inbound in combination with outbound and selling and marketing, because a lot of the challenges I'm seeing out there is the cooler the product you have, the cooler the tech you have, the more you want to talk about it. And the buyers, they don't want to buy tech, they want to buy outcomes. So yeah, so two different things. Stuctsales for HubSpot stuff related to HubSpot, and then my speaking, workshops, and strategy things on the other side. And they align very nicely together
On a podcast.
on a podcast.
Thank you very much, Oliver. This was quite cool and quite global. um, Today, you decided to talk about onboarding and how you manage onboarding with your consulting firm. And it's interesting to talk about onboarding because we didn't since the start of ClubSpotter, and I do think that this is the first step for every company which decided to join HubSpot or to contract with HubSpot. So, yeah, first of all, could you explain what would be the first step for a good onboarding, and how do you manage it with straight sales today?
Yeah, really good question. And I would start where most clients never start. So let's go back to what I always talk about is if you want to get the most out of HubSpot as a platform, which it is, it's not a sales tool or a marketing tool. It is, as everybody knows, who's been working in HubSpot and using it, it is a platform. You need to start like with what is the goal for the investment? What are you trying to achieve? Most companies we talk to the first time, they have fallen in love with HubSpot. They love the tool. They love everything they can do. They love Breeze, the AI features. They love the Sales Hub and which used to be prospecting dashboard, which is now the sales dashboard, and the new customer success features. They love the features as always, like they love the product and the technical stuff, but they don't have a plan. So it's like, let's buy Sales and Marketing Hub and let's do sales and marketing and generate leads and stuff. This is also very funny. I can pull up LinkedIn posts or videos or webinars we did literally 10 years ago, and they would be exactly as relevant today, which is in some way it's good because we have a lot of stuff, a lot of work to do with clients, but it makes me a bit sad also because it's, have we not come like farther down the line than this 10 years later? But it's complicated, and I'm going to get back to that as well, because when you onboard, you need to check a few boxes before you start building stuff in HubSpot. I mean, I would guess that as many as maybe 30, 40, sometimes 50% of the new clients we get already have HubSpot. So they've already onboarded with another agency or by themselves or with HubSpot. And eventually they find out that there is no plan. It's all messy. We need to do what we now call a re-onboarding. We need to do it again because we need to find out what are we trying to achieve here. And in many cases, it's the C-level people or the owners of the companies who actually are saying we can't pay more licenses. We're just throwing the money in the sea. We're not getting anything back from it. And this is not, by the way, only HubSpot. It is all systems out there. If somebody invests, it's like if you can't find the ROI or any other valuable end results, it's going to be a bad investment. So what we do always, we work through 6 different boxes. So the first one is business goals. So let's start from the end. Most of the clients are buying HubSpot like this. They invest in the system. Perfect. When they bought the licenses, they decide who's going to be the super admin, who's going to be working in HubSpot. So they go from system to teams, organizations. And then they look at oh yeah, by the way, we have a sales process or a marketing or a lead gen process we need to put into the system. Perfect, let's build it. And then they look at, the customers. We need to get the customers inside of HubSpot as well. We need to tag them, segment them, get everything set up. Perfect. What are we going to say to them when we start email blasting them or doing reach outs? We need a messaging platform. We need a positioning statement. We need to have something they would actually be interested in listening to. Yes. So it's a big investment. So we need to have a good ROI as well. So how are we? And eventually, when you check all the boxes and you get to the business part, you're going to, like 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a bad investment because you haven't checked the other boxes. So what we do when we onboard clients, we do it totally the opposite. And this is the same thing when I meet a client for the first time. I'm always asking myself, where is this man or this woman, where is this person wrong in what they're thinking? Because I know that every time when they want to work with us, they have misunderstood a few things, or in worst case, a lot of things. So they need to understand how to do this in the most efficient way. So we do it the other way around. So we start with, that's fantastic. It's so cool that you want to buy HubSpot and you want to use us for training and onboarding and coaching and everything. What is the end goal here? Like, what is the plan with buying HubSpot? What are you trying to achieve? Like, if you go to our website, and I know this is going to be a lot of agency owners listening to this. I love you, but we're still competitors, even though we're friends. A lot of you listening, agency owners, you deliver like outputs, not outcomes. So delivering an output is we'll build 3 workflows, we'll set up 3 landing pages, we'll set up a campaign for you. Those are not outcomes. An outcome is we want to close 4 deals at the end of Q4 related to what the sales team has been doing in combination with marketing in HubSpot, and we should be able to track this. That is an outcome. So we start with the outcomes. So you're going to invest in licenses. You're going to pay us as a partner to get you going and help you to get the most out of the tool. And so what is the goal? Okay, this is the goal. Perfect. So those are good goals. And we also try to work, we're not forcing clients, but more long-term. Like we used to do like 1 month of onboarding, a couple of weeks of quick onboarding and stuff. For super small clients, in those cases, we still think that we can help them. We have a pretty small package, but in most cases, it's at least 6 months, in many of them 12 months. So they buy a license for 12 months, so they need to have somebody helping them for 12 months. And then eventually we have clients we've been doing this for 6-7 years with, a couple of them. So it's super fun to see that they're sticking with us. But after the business goals, then we can move into the messaging. So, okay, perfect. So what makes you stand out on the market? What makes you unique? What makes you the go-to company in your market? And when that's done, we talk about the clients. So we have a bunch of companies, organizations we want to reach out to. I want to have names of those companies in HubSpot. I don't want to have like industries with more than 500 employees or more than 50 employees in these 3 industries. Those are our clients. No, I want to have names. Like I want to have 500 names or 50 names or 20 names, at least so you know that this is the company we're going to work with. Because if you have a name, it's going to make it so much easier for you to reach out and know how to communicate with them. And we're also pushing very much on niching down, like the riches are in the niches. It's an expression. I don't remember which book it is, but it's super relevant. If you're a brain surgeon or a doctor, who's going to get paid more, and who are you going to call when you have stuff with your brain? You got to fix it. You're going to need surgery, whatever. So a specialist is always going to be paid more than a generalist. So if you reach out to your ideal clients and you have a niche of those, you're going to be able to communicate in a much, much more efficient way. So we do a lot of consulting around that and consulting, training, strategy. Then we move to the most challenging parts, because most companies have business goals already set up, pretty good. They know roughly why they exist. I mean, that's why they have a company, like positioning and communication. However, in many cases, if I ask the CEO, the marketing manager, and the sales manager, give me your best dream client. No, write down your dream client on a piece of paper. It's not the same. The CEO has a client here, the marketing here, and the sales manager here. It's totally different. And this is when the work starts. So, but anyway, if messaging and clients is already checked off, we move to the most challenging parts, which is processes and teams, and then building HubSpot. So everybody has a process. Life is a process. A flower grows, a flower dies. It rains, the sun appears. Like we are born and we die. Like everything is a process. You might not think this if you've listened to me or met me in person. I'm all over the place, a lot of energy, a lot of talking and like passion, but I love processes. I love to have somewhere to fall back to. So if you don't have a sales process which is really defined, which connects to marketing and customer success, and by the way, this is not what we're doing anymore. We're doing revenue teams and we're doing revenue processes. Like, it's not sales, marketing, and customer success anymore. But those processes need to be defined. We need to automate the parts of those where we can save time. And here's a tip for you listening as well. Do not go all in on AI and automate 100% of everything you're doing, because we're going to end up where everybody does on LinkedIn, where I get a lot of, and you as well, spam messages, automated emails. Is getting totally crazy out there, totally crazy. But you can do 60, 70, maybe 80%, and then you can add the last 20%. And again, like using Breeze, it's totally different. And using Breeze in HubSpot to do this, it's terrific. I wouldn't like push the buttons and let HubSpot do everything and publish everything it's doing. I would do a manual adjustment, but I would still use the features and the functionality. So processes, super important. And then we come to teams and organizations. So that is basically who's going to do what is going to be in the role description. We talk about this thing from the 80s or 70s or wherever, it's way back, it's becoming popular again, jobs to be done. So the jobs to be done, what is my role? What are my KPIs? How can those align to the business goals in the first box, driving the business to success? Is this something we're doing internally as a client, or do we need to bring in somebody as from Stuctsales or any of your other terrific partners out there in the partner community? We need to decide that first. And if we're bringing somebody in, what are they supposed to be doing? How can we align and make it as efficient as possible? Like for smaller companies, if you're a founder and a CEO in a really small company, let's say 5-10 people, you don't even need a marketing manager. You can use Breeze and HubSpot, but you can get some support from somebody like ourselves to realign and like redefine the communication and everything. But it's going to work in a very efficient way. And then now we've gone a long way down. Now we can talk about HubSpot. Now we can talk about how to build the workflows and the automations and using the agents and setting up AI and everything. Super cool. But we're basically not doing anything in HubSpot for clients until they tell us how this is connected to the business value of the company. This is so crucial for a good implementation. And if somebody comes and says, "Hey, can you just set up HubSpot, like build a few workflows, train the team, and then we're all set to go," couple of weeks, we used to say, "Yeah, okay, let's do it." And those were the absolute worst projects ever, because the client, they didn't have any money, and the small pennies they decided to invest, they kind of got it with their life, and they expected a delivery for 10,000 euros, and they paid 1,000 euros. So that's kind of the onboarding process we have, and it's a lot more about that on our website. By the way, it's not relaunched, but it's been updated in English as well. We used to have it only in Swedish. So Stuctsales.se, if anyone listening wants to copy what we're doing, you're free to do. But everybody knows that it's in the delivery. Things are happening. If you're a potential client, have a look at our website and see if you like what you see.
Great. It was super clear, and I do think that the process that you explain is more than complete, and so that you can have all the steps to follow and to make it the right way. Oliver, it's time for the anecdotes.
Oh yeah. I was thinking like 11 years as a partner, I should have a bunch of anecdotes. I do have a few, but I have one which is pretty, I think it's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool when it happened. I still think it's pretty cool. So I don't know how long you've been in the ecosystem, listeners and yourselves, but there was a guy, he's still alive. He's with another company, Mike Volpe. So one of the first CMOs at HubSpot, not the first, but he actually left 2015, 16. I went to HubSpot's HQ in Boston recently when we joined as directly after we joined as the partner. I think it was 2015, 2014, 2015. And I met with Mike, like CMO for all the shebang of HubSpot, and they were already big then. I also spoke at I forgot to mention, I spoke at Inbound 2015, 2017, 2019 as well. And one of those times when I traveled over to do my speaking, 2015, I met with Mike. And it was a snowstorm. And if you've been to Boston, you know that like in the winters, I live in Sweden, but it's potentially even worse. It can get totally crazy. And those were one of those days. I went to their office in Cambridge, in Boston, and the snow just started it was totally crazy. And this guy, again, like one of the, in owners, like C-level, he had stake in the company and everything, really big name. He kind of followed me out, and we walked in the snowstorm together to the subway because I couldn't find it. It was my first time I ever in Boston. I was totally lost, and he went and couldn't find his jacket, so he just went like, it was freezing. I'll follow you. It's a quick walk. I'll take the other way back, and I'll just show where it is. And we had a really interesting talk. And I was thinking afterwards when I got back to my hotel, I was like, this is so crazy. This company, HubSpot, and that was actually where the DNA of the company showed. This guy, one of the most important people in HubSpot. I was a new partner, like flying over from Stockholm, and he actually took time to freeze his butt off, to be honest, and help me to find the subway. Basically, it was something like that. So that's one of the memories. I have another one. Of the former CEO Brian Halligan sleeping on the floor when I got there another year and wanted to meet with him. And he used to do this. He took a nap in the middle of the day. And I was like, oof, this is the CEO. It's so cool to finally meet him. And then when I got into the where his desk was, in an open landscape with a lot of other people, he was on the floor sleeping. And so I've never spoken to him. I almost did, but he was asleep, so I couldn't talk to him. I was like 1 meter, 2 meters away from him, but he was sleeping. So those are two anecdotes. I have a bunch more, but those are two of the most interesting ones.
Super cool, and it's remember us that everybody is human, even if they have like
100%,
super high job, they are only human. And if they are like just good persons and just like person want to share some moments, some discussions, and definitely. I do think that for HubSpot it's like you're right, it's on the DNA. So yeah, pretty cool. Oliver, could you give us lots of valuable tips and lots of things to do if you're an agency or not? Um, could you please like make three bullet points, the things that you want us to retain?
Yeah. So I would say in relation to HubSpot, then I would say one, buy an outcome, do not buy a system. And use the system, regardless of which system or tool it is there to support you to reach your outcome and your goal. It is not the main thing, even if it's the main thing. You know what I mean? So buy an outcome, not a tool. Second one, if we're talking onboarding, get leadership aligned with why you're doing this and the expectations. And it's a bit easier today because Sales Hub is getting really, it's awesome. Before, when it was mostly Marketing Hub, like the leadership was, they were never like in the game. It was marketing managers buying this, and then it became a bad investment. So have leadership aligned to why we're doing this, and have a business goal with this, and outcomes, not outputs. Third one, do everything you're trying to do when you're buying HubSpot the other way around. So everything you're thinking to do, start at the other, like, because every single client, do not start with a system, define a super admin, try to push in your processes, and then move. Start at the other end. So have a business plan, have a goal with this. And sometimes it's like swearing in church here, but sometimes you should potentially not even buy HubSpot. Like that can happen, even though we're only selling HubSpot. I tell clients, hey, you should actually have a super boring corporate complex tool like Microsoft or Salesforce, because that's who you are. Not exactly in that way, but yeah. Or you're a super small company, you should have the free version, or basically you should use Excel for another few months. Like, so be very clear on how to focus there. I don't know if those were three. Leadership, do not buy the system, buy the outcome, and also do everything in the total opposite direction than you're doing today.
Great. Um, to conclude, do you have like one word, that a word that I don't know, that is your favorite one, a word that is your leitmotif?
Yeah. So it is Swedish, though. I'll translate this one in Swedish. It's värde, and that means
Värde.
value. Value.
Okay.
So sell
Värde.
value or die. I'm not killing people, but I'm saying in your business is going to die if you don't bring customer value to your clients. So value. I know that everybody's talking about this, but this is my favorite word. But again, perceived value. Big difference. Like what you think is valuable might not be what your client thinks is valuable. So perceived value from your clients, super important.
Thank you very much, Oliver. And I'm sure that every person who's going to listen to this podcast is going to perceive the value of this podcast.
Hopefully, yeah.
And yeah, I hope to have you very soon for the next episode.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye bye.